has been a big push for the EV sector from the government, and the biggest ask today is, will there be a FAME 3 policy this budget? But what else is on top of the budget wish list? We are joined by Pulkit Khurana, the co-founder of Battery Smart, and Saurav Kumar, the co-founder of Euler Motors. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. You know, Saurav, let me start with you. The budget is right around the corner. One of the main things on the mind of every electric vehicle player is the FAME scheme. FAME 2 expired on March 31st of this year. There is a hope of another edition of this, but reports say that four-wheelers may not be included, right? So what's the expectation here, and how crucial would this be for the sector?
So first of all, thanks for having me. So yes, I think the budget is around the corner. We are looking forward to hearing what it means for electric vehicle OEM. Before I answer the question, I just have one thought overall. Whether you put any amount of subsidy, whether for four-wheeler, three-wheeler, two-wheeler, I think what is important is the consistency part and the tenure of it. Having something for a year and then or 4 months and then having another scheme, that sometimes disrupts the overall motion. So I think what is more important is the tenure, and I think even if it's a smaller quantum, it's okay as long as you have it for the longer period. If subsidies are available for, let's just say, four-wheeler, it will definitely help. Given a commercial OEM that we are, I think what we have seen is the rate of adoption significantly changes if you can improve the cost of acquisition, which is the what down payment or what is the first payment that a customer will pay to buy a vehicle. So in that sense, I think electric vehicle in general should be, as a sector, should be looked from as a totality, not just one or two segment. Obviously, what we have seen is in two-wheeler and three-wheeler, the subsidies has done significantly, push the overall adoption of these vehicles in the market. But at the same time, I think like I said, the tenor and the consistency is much more important than the amount or consideration itself.
So you're saying like a smaller amount is fine, but it needs to be there for a longer period of time to boost this. But you know, like Saurav also pointed out, it also has to benefit the entire EV ecosystem, right? And Pulkit, you know, if I could bring you in here, because you're coming from a different perspective, being on the battery side of things, there have been talks or other opinions of wanting the battery ecosystem to be given more importance when it comes to subsidies or even under the FAME scheme in a bid to boost sales of EVs, right? So what's your expectation on this front?
So thanks, Arundathi, for having Battery Smart on the show again. I think it is not about more importance. Currently, batteries are not part of the subsidy framework at all. And the request from the industry has been to at least create a level playing field. To simplify that for the viewers here is that if you buy a fixed battery vehicle, there is some subsidy. While Saurav is right, it has been inconsistent and going up and down. But if you buy a vehicle without a battery, there is no subsidy available today, right? So what that does is it is against swapping, and it's not really favoring swapping. And that is what we have been requesting, that it needs to be corrected and a level playing field should exist. This would also hamper a user who hits end of life on the battery, right? So if you have bought a EV already, say 3 or 4 years ago, and you're looking to replace your battery, you'll end up paying 18% GST when you replace your battery, right? So I think it's more of an oversight, but also from a subsidy framework, someone buying a vehicle separately and a battery separately should be part of the framework of subsidy. Whether the end user gets it or a battery OEM or a swapping operator gets it is completely government's call, depending on how they want to implement it. But there has to be a equal view with which the government sees a fixed battery vehicle and a swappable battery vehicle, because both of them are EV. And given the infrastructure constraints of the country, I think swapping can definitely help boost EV adoption, if nothing else.
So there is a need for a level playing field. This is Shruti quickly stepping in. Saurav, I want to ask you my next question. There's been a call to want the PLI scheme to be more inclusive for startups. Where is the current PLI, falling short, and what do you think will help it become a game changer? Will a more inclusive PLI do the trick?
So I think government has done, I would say, phenomenal work with the FAME subsidy, the lowering of GST and the PLI scheme. I think all of these the intention and what it has done for the country in terms of EV adoption is really great. Similar, I would say, if I look at the PLI scheme as well, I would say that, see, while majority of the beneficiary of today PLI scheme has been very, very big OEMs or startup that has like very good, let's just say, balance sheet capital, who can, be able to, let's just say, become a champion OEM in the future. But I think alongside capital, there are also a lot of startup which has, let's just say, like Euler, which has enough capital, also the right intention to become a global champion in the future. I believe that similar to what Pulkit was saying, there should be a level playing field for startups like us as well, where we have been able to significantly, let's just say, help electrify the three-wheeler cargo segment. And we believe that we can build vehicles from India for the global market. And we do feel that while capital is important, your right intent, and this is the only business that we are in. So we are focused and making sure that the products from India actually go and play on that international market. So if PLI has certain benefit or certain allocation to startup like us, I think it will do further wonderful job that earlier PLI has done.
Pulkit, coming to you quickly, and we have only the last 30 seconds to go. We've discussed FAME and PLI, but there has also been a call for the government to do more when it comes to R&D and investing in infra. What other policy measures could bring some cheer to help with faster adoption of electric vehicles in the country, especially at a time when global sales are falling? Pulkit, if you could quickly answer that.
I think a low-hanging fruit which government has not yet adopted is bringing EVs under priority sector lending. This is a capital-intensive, infrastructure-driven business, and having enough debt pools of capital open up for this sector, either to invest in charging infra, on manufacturing side, on even procurement of batteries, vehicles, etc. All of that would really boost this sector and would also help a lot of lenders deploy capital more efficiently. It's a much easier thing to do for the government and much awaited.
All right, Pulkit and Saurav, thank you so much for joining us on the show and, sort of highlighting what exactly the EV sector needs to, make it globally competitive at this point. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.